Arturo Dark Knight. He's one of our best listeners.
Oh, UV.
Okay.
UV? Did you just say UV?
Why is there a chicken in my parking lot?
And hello everybody and welcome back to another RSG Wednesday night stream here on this hump day. Let me hear you, Skier Nation. I know you're out there, boys and girls, children of all ages, ready to get those emotes going, get everything flying like the wind and throwing it at everybody else. Whip out your pickle, stroke your Wookiees, do whatever it is you need to do to show your support and love and celebration. I guess bread's a thing now, so you can do that as well. But welcome to the longest running live stream in the Star Wars Galaxy Heroes community. I'm Ranger J 1999, your host with the most, and next to me is my heterosexual life partner, Dr. Finn Medicine Woman, the Troll Extraordinaire.
Hi, peoples.
And we are here to talk, discuss, make fun of, yell, scream, bitch, complain about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, the mobile app game. And
Not
we're
me.
glad.
I'm happy.
Yeah, Finn runs. No, we have video proof.
I ran very seldom.
Sure. Let's go with that. But anyway, but if you're new to the show, welcome. We're glad to have you guys here, as always. And we're here to break down the latest and greatest in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes news and notes and give you a little bit of insight about what it all means. Hope you guys are having a great day on this hump day. Show us in the chat how happy you are to be here. Let's get that shit going. And if you're new to the stream, there's some stuff you need to know before we begin. Lots of ways to interact with us while we're streaming, and we like to interact back. So first of all, questions. If you have questions, we will answer questions as always at the end of the stream. All you need to do to get your question answered is we use Nightbot, so we have to have a keyword to use to filter out so we can get the questions only, and that word is obviously the word question. So before you write out your actual question statement, put the word question in front of your question statement, and that'll help us filter out. That's on you if you don't do that, because then we won't see it. I mean, 9 times out of 10 we are not going to see the question, because with chat can't filter and go through everything like that. So it's just the way we do it. Don't like it? I don't give a shit. Also, make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe, comment if you haven't already. You can sub here on YouTube and become a sponsor. You can sub over on Twitch. By doing so, you get fun little things you can do on both sides. There's stream elements that you can donate to as well. Everything's linked down below in the description. There's funny emotes and emojis that you can do. You can do super chat in YouTube and have fun little things that you can do as well. Also have all the sound bites that you guys are familiar with from Stream Elements and also from Twitch. So all that's there for you guys to interact and have fun with us, and we're glad to have you guys here. And that's how it all works. It's pretty simple, to the point, although the Stream Elements is not showing. I don't know why. Maybe I need to go to the other scene, Finn. Well, you know, let's go to the new scene, Finn. I'm going to go to the new scene. Alright, let me go to the new scene here. Look at the SWGOH new scene. Oh, snap, Finn. Here we go. It's working. It's working. Well, it's trying to load. All right. But welcome everybody in the chat. I see you guys all there. Now, the first thing that we like to do is we like to make sure that we shout out all you wonderful people in the chat for being here. And participating, and we usually have a shout out word of the day, and today I will give you that shout out word of the day, because everybody who's been watching me get these characters and well out a little bit knows that I have a hatred of a certain number that I've rolled more times than I care to admit. That it's made me so angry I've turned into the Swedish chef, and it's not 7. The word of the day is Schweven. SWEVEN. If you want us to shout out your name, make sure you put a Swevin into the chat because god damn I hate that number. Swevin makes me sick because that's all I've been rolling. So Swevin's the word of the day. Make sure you get that out there. What other news and notes or any other stuff for RSG that we need to know about? Finn, any streams or anything like that coming up?
You know, I'm just thinking before we get into all the streams and stuff, how normally the chat likes to go and try to misspell the way that you write these things. And in fact, it is a misspelled 7 that we're putting as the shout out word of the day. I'm just looking at Swebin in the chat. It's magical, Ranger. Magical.
Well, someone said sweet. That's
No,
not right.
I know. They're going to have all kinds of things here. And some people are actually spelling 7. That's not going to get it.
No, it's not going to do, you know.
And got people Slytherin. I mean, I'm a fan of Slytherin, but no, that's not it. So, yeah. So, Swevin, SWEVEN. Yeah, so we have more streams tomorrow. Ranger will do the lunch stream on Twitch tomorrow. I will be then on YouTube at 2 to do my GAC. Then Friday, we have more streams. So, yeah, everything on the night is pretty much the same. It's only switched in the afternoons. So, Friday night will be State of Survival. I will be hosting for McVenom because McVenom will be on vacation. So, I'll be there with the usual crew of Delete and Daedric. And we will be talking about State of Survival at 9 p.m. on Friday, still on YouTube. Yeah. So
all the background stuff didn't pop in. What is going on, man? Weird. Our cameras are there, the background's there, but like all the little bells and whistles you did, not there. Huh. I don't know.
that probably means that the alerts aren't working.
That's not good. Do a test alert. Uh-oh.
Okay. Hold on. There you go.
Nothing.
Nope.
Shit. Well, that's not good.
You broke it.
Yeah, apparently so. Well, let's get some music started, shall we? Let's have some fun.
Now we got copyright. Hooray!
Well, I went to the non-copyrighted stuff, so.
That stuff still copyrights, by the way.
Oh, does it? Damn
Yeah.
it. Well.
Because there's people that will put stuff in there, and then they'll be like, "Oh, well, I want it copyrighted," and then like afterwards they'll be like, "Yeah, that's copyrighted now." So, yep.
Right. Well, then we got like a couple seconds, so it could have been anybody's ending then.
That's true.
That's all right.
That's
so, well, I mean, nothing seems to be working. That sucks ass.
There's a lot of noobs streaming on the screen right now. It's true, Ouchie.
Oh.
We are noobs. Hee
Is Stream Elements not working? What the piss is going on?
No, it
here?
is. It's probably OBS and having to refresh every single one of the browsers.
Seriously?
You switch scene collections, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what usually what happens.
Well, let me
it's
go
not
back.
in the middle of the stream.
Well, it wasn't working on the other one before I even did that, so.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go back to the other one and see if I can get that to work.
Sweet and low. No, it's not sweet and low. Yes, 4 years of noobage. That is correct. That is correct.
Yeah, now it's
4
up.
years of-
Now it's working.
There we go.
Yay, I did it. Did a good job. We worked hard. We did it. All right. Yay. Okay, let's get into the news, because that's what you guys are here for, right? Let's not just stick around. Let's get into the news. And boy, did we have a lot of news drop this week. Finn, Jesus Christ, did we get a bunch of news. Do the test.
Did you get it?
Nope.
Nope. Then the notifications are not working.
All right, let me go to notifications real quick and just reset them real quick. Because I'm going to get this to work, god damn it.
So part of it is working. There's part of it working.
They mostly come out at night. Mostly.
Yep. Test.
Hold on, let me go back to it now. Well, the thing's up, but now it's not playing anything.
Yeah, I mean, if there is a technical difficulty, I blame Finn as a thing for a reason.
Well,
Just throwing that out there.
shit. All right, well, there's nothing we can do. All right, so big news. I tried to do the nothing's working. All right, so dun 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 dun. I'm Ted Koppel. All right. Well, apparently in Hawaii, I just saw B Monster write this. He says testes 1 2 3.
I miss Grande. Icicle, testicle. I miss Grande.
I forgot about that. And I'm horrified. All right, so let's get into the news. Big news this week, and we've already discussed it already. But, yeah. Let's just get into it. Jedi Master Luke Skywalker and Sith Eternal Emperor are here. I'm not going to read this post. I read it earlier. We covered this in an event yesterday on Twitch. So if you want to check that out, you can. We do know that double drops are coming starting on the 29th. For certain days, you can get double drops. So remember that. Mark those dates in your calendar so you can make sure you get those.
And they're spaced out, by the way. It's spaced out, I believe, one every week on the Saturday. So it's 24 hours every Saturday. So Cantina Nodes on the 29th, Fleet Battles on the 5th, Light Side on the 12th, Mod on the 19th, and Dark Side on the 26th. So the one to me, anyways, that's important for a lot of people, because we've seen this as an issue. Clear out that mod inventory, because on the 19th, farm yourself some mods.
Yep, it's a good way to do it. Also, I got 73 people watching, only 17 likes. Come on, folks, we're a little bit better than that. Don't you think we deserve a little bit more likes?
Not really. We had a lot of technical difficulties to start.
True.
We're kind of awful.
That's true. Yeah, well, I can't control other software, so what do you want me to do? All right, so Luke, we get into the beginning requirements of Jedi Master Luke, and I would just like to say again, I called it. Now, I didn't think it'd be here this soon, but everyone kept asking who I thought the next two Galactic Legends were going to be. Your boy, Ranger J, 1999. Nailed it. What did I say? It was going to be Luke, and it was going to be Emperor Palpatine. Just saying. My powers are growing daily, Finn. The dark side is strong with me. All right. All right, so for Luke. So if you don't know the requirements for Luke, these are just half the requirements that we know of so far. So we know that Mon Mothma, got to have her 7 stars, Relic 5. 3 Baka, got to have 7 stars, Relic 5. Old Ben has got to be Relic 5. Rey, JTR, and if you did Galactic Legend Rey, you already have this. She has to be Relic 7, and C-3PO has to be Relic 5. Now, if you went for the Luke event, you also should have, I think, Old Ben and 3PO as part of that. No. I know 3PO is, so you have to get, he should be at least Relic 3. But new characters, so we got Mon Mothma and 3PO and Chewie, that both are newer characters that have not only have to be 7 stars, but they have to be Relic 5. Requirements for Luke. Finn, what are you thinking there, brother?
Yeah, makes sense so far. I mean, these are all characters that interacted with Luke in the early part, and for the most part, there's a little bit of thing with Rey in there. Rey threw me off, honestly.
Mon Mothma threw me off. When did he ever interact with Mon Mothma? I'm just trying to remember.
Wasn't he in the situation room?
He came after. Remember when the other general came up after Mon Mothma did her thing and said, "Many orphans died together."
But she was still in there, wasn't she?
She was in there, but it's not like Luke came over and was like,
"Hey,
Mon Mothma, hey, Chica, what you doing?"
Like, I know. It wasn't like a direct interaction, but he was there, and he was following her orders as part of the leader, and then it was it Akbar or a different squid? I can't remember. But it was one of the calamaris, I think, that took over after Mon Mothma. But yeah, so at least there was some interaction there. 2PO is fine. Old Ben, of course. 3PO is fine. Rey was a little bit odd in the first group. I would have expected, and I still kind of expect, R2 potentially in there, being that it's Luke. I'd be surprised if R2 is not listed there. I was also potentially thinking, since I saw the Chupio there, that we may see a Lobot somewhere in here as well, because he wasn't really included in any of the... Yeah, he wasn't included in any of the Cloud City stuff.
That's gonna piss me off if they put some shit ass character like.
Why they did the exact same thing with Rey and Kylo. You have to do Rose Tico. Why would it be any different?
Yeah, but there's certain characters that you can kind of somewhat stomach, and then some you're just like that.
You could stomach Rose Tico more than Lobot.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone could stomach either of them. So I don't think it's much different. But I mean, I'm thinking it's going to be a bunch of Rebel fighters afterwards. I think the Mon Mothma tag. I mentioned this before. As soon as the Mon Mothma tag came out, I'm like, this is going to be used for something.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out because, like, when they did the Galactic Legend, well, it was really about the Galactic Legends and just what they did, but like, Luke never interacted with Palpatine, so it's not going to be the same dynamic that we had with Rey and Kyle. I'm just interested in how they're going to do this, but it's like you just look at some of these characters, like, okay, not sure where we're going with here, but then again, what do I know? So, okie dokie. So then we've got the new Palpatine. Now he's going to be the next Galactic Legend for the dark side. And his requirements, we're going to have the new Admiral Piet, which is getting ready to launch next week. He's going to have to be 7 stars, Relic 5. Royal Guard's got to go to Relic 3. Darth Vader, not a bad one to have, Relic 7. So there you go. Emperor Palpatine, Relic 7, which you will already have if you haven't, if you've done Kylo Ren already. And then Director Krennic, Relic 4. Ugh, God. So they're really, if you really want these Galactic Legends, they're making sure you get that full roster of relics going on there with some of these characters. So your Lobot thing kind of made me vomitous. There is a special note. It says Admiral Piet will be released on an abbreviated schedule in order to be farmable for the release of Galactic Legend. Sith Eternal Emperor. Admiral Piet will be moved to shipments 3 weeks after release and then moved to a farmable node 3 weeks after appearing in shipments. So that kind of tells me that we've got, 6 weeks before these get released, these Galactic Legends? Maybe sooner. So
maybe. I think it's going to be later. Personally.
Well, let's see. We got the announcement for Rey and Kylo, back in December of last year, and they didn't come out to when? February? March?
They came out much later. So, and that's what I'm looking at, because even if you do 6 weeks, right, let's assume that I'm looking at the calendar right now. Let's assume that Piet comes out tomorrow. Okay? Let's just assume he comes out tomorrow. 3 weeks from tomorrow would be September 17th. 3 weeks after that would be October 8th. Mm-hmm. You know the significance of that?
No.
You just jumped quarters. You went from the end of September, which is the end of the current quarter, to October to December, which is the last fiscal quarter.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's
when you
the
look
new
at
math.
it from so when you look at it from that perspective, right? I don't think they're going to be, and maybe they will, but I don't think they want to release Galactic Legends towards the beginning of a quarter. It doesn't do them. You front load a lot of your quarter. You're much better off waiting to get to the end. I'm trying to remember the exact day for Galactic Legend Rey. I think that was towards March, right? It was in the middle of March.
Something
or
like that.
like end of February, which puts you towards the end of the quarter. So I think in that situation, we're maybe looking at the Galactic Legend events probably closer to the beginning of November at this point. I think we're going to get some of the characters. They're going to slow release all the information to us, right? But I think the main thing is that, I with the way that it works out and the time frame that they gave, I know they're giving an abbreviated schedule, but don't forget, there's a lot of relics and stuff that has to go into this. So shards is only part of it. Relics and getting gear is a huge part. And we don't even know. I know he's in game now, so I'm trying to tech GG to see whether or not Piet is in there, to see what his gear looks like. Because if he needs a bunch of Kyrotechs and he needs a bunch of those fleshlights and he needs raid gear, like, it's not going to be easy to gear him up regardless of the stars. So that's what my initial guess. It's not going to be. Oh, so Wolfbell is saying that the marquee is in game and it starts tomorrow. Okay. So if it's in game and it starts tomorrow, then yeah. So I mean, we're looking at the beginning of September that he would be released free to play in some kind of a node. But I don't think it's going to be released right around that time. It'll probably be a few weeks after that the Galactic Legends will be released, somewhere closer to the middle of the quarter. So I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to find it now, just to confirm if this is consistent. To me, that makes sense from a financial perspective, but I want to make sure this is consistent with what they did with Galactic Legend Rey. So, but yeah, that would be my guess on what's happening right now.
Now, for me, I will be going for Luke first. It makes sense. We had a dasher on yesterday. We were talking about it for Liveside TB. I'll still get Piet, but I'm not going to gear him or any of the dark side characters. It's all going to be the light side characters first. So I'll go for Luke first, mainly just for territory battles, light side, just to have them there. Now, Finn. couple things that we were talking about yesterday, and I want to get your perspective because you had to go yesterday. What does this do to the state of the game? Now, one of the things that I brought up, like for Arena, eventually as this plays out, it's going to give us a little bit more of a diverse arena when you have 4 Galactic Legends that you can use as the top of the chart. Okay, I can see that.
Maybe.
Possibly, right? Because really it's just Rey and Kylo at the top right now, and then everything else. So there'll be more, a little bit diverse than that. However, do you think that these are coming out too soon? We just got Rey and Kylo not too long ago. Now they're saying they're going to be on the same level as Rey and Kylo, not more powerful, but at the same level. So, is it too soon?
Okay, so let me do one thing here. So I'll say one thing really quick too before we get to that. So I just looked up the dates. The Rey information for the first requirements was released on January 29th. The kit was released March 18th.
Okay, so roughly.
So we're looking at about 2 months. We're almost in the exact same position, right?
Yeah.
It's August 25th, so just about the same thing. 2 months from now, we are looking at around October 18th as probably the time that we're going to be getting Galactic Legends.
Okay.
Which puts them a little bit more inside of the quarter, right? So, I mean, it's going to be close, but I still think it's going to be a little bit later, probably closer to the end of October, beginning of November. But that's just my guess right now. But to your question, I'm going to say my answer is a yes and a no as to whether or not they released it too soon. From my perspective, it is too quick. They don't give players enough time to gear up and work on the content. If they consider players content, they don't give them enough time to work on it before they release new ones.
Right.
However, the reason I'm saying no, and that's probably my primary answer if I had to pick one, is because CG has shown that they are moving in a different direction with this game.
Yes, they do.
Since the release of Relics, and I mentioned this right off the bat, as soon as Relics came out, Relics was accelerated way too quickly after Gear 13. What does that mean for the state of the game? That means that the end game, the bar for the end game, which is Relic 7, was raised very, very quickly. And the only way to get to that level was really to spend if you wanted to accelerate quickly. We cannot, as players, expect any of the new content to not be tuned to what the highest level in the game is. It would be ridiculous otherwise, because you always want whatever is in the game coming as new to be tuned to whatever is the newest thing in the game. So if they released Relic 7 and they tuned everything to Gear 13, everyone with Relic 7 would walk over it and have no challenge, right? So that's why you're seeing a lot of things with the assault battles, where the assault battles have the tier 3 and they're tuned to these very, very high relic levels, which makes sense. To me, as a person kind of reviewing the game and where we are, it makes 100% sense to me that they are tuning these Galactic Legends to these high relic levels. Not a fan of the gating, personally, with like these galactic challenges where they gate it with the gear in order to do it and not just increase the challenge to make it necessary to do it. So little bit of a difference there, but it's still the same thing. All the new end game content is being tuned to end game level in the game, which right now is between Relic 5 and 7. So are the Galactic Legends coming out too soon? Really, the answer is no. They're coming out at the right time, but the problem is they accelerated Relics too much. Players have not caught up, so CG has gone with the strategy of accelerating the timeline for every release to force purchasing in order to get it the first day. Mm-hmm. Now, to their credit, Journey Guide, these characters are going directly into the Journey Guide, right? They say Galactic Legends are going straight in there.
Yes.
So, unlike the hero's journeys and the things we've seen in the past, where you had like this 3 to 7 day period, where you had to get everything ready and then you had to wait like 3 months, the Journey Guide doesn't force that, right? The Journey Guide lets you work on it at your own pace in order to get it. Now, some people will want it earlier, but even if you want it later, you're not waiting for the event to return. And you can see people are doing that right now for Jedi Knight Luke, right? And so Jedi Knight Luke, more likely than not, will be a one of the requirements for Jedi Master Luke, right? I'm going to be fairly sure that he's going to be there. So that is maybe one of the gates that you have to wait for this character to come back in order to do it. The only other character we have like that right now was Gas and Malik, right, before. Now Malik is in the Journey Guide, right, and Gas still isn't. Now we have Jedi Knight Luke, but Gas was not required for Rey or Supreme Leader Kylo. So we never had this delayed... It's an interesting thing. We never had this delay in the Journey Guide before for the Galactic Legends. Because you can have everything ready, but if you don't have Jedi Knight Luke, regardless of the fact that the Galactic Legends in the Journey Guide, you're kind of screwed, right? So it is something to be kind of concerned about, that Jedi Knight Luke may show up as a requirement for Jedi Master Luke, and then the whole Journey Guide concept is kind of thrown out the window because you still have to wait for Jedi Knight Luke. But overall, I think these are being released in the manner that CG is now, and players have to adapt to it.
Yeah.
Everything is being accelerated. So is CG releasing this early? No. They have a new mentality in this game. They are trying to get more money with their events. How do you do that? You don't let players accumulate crystals the way they are.
Yeah, because a lot of us, because remember how I got Darth Revan and Malik and all that stuff?
Exactly
because
what it is.
I saved up.
They are changing it so free-to-play are going to have a more difficult time to actually compete, because there were free-to-play that got Galactic Legends. So what they're doing is saying, okay, we've already been giving you for the past 4 years like 1,200 crystals a day if you manage to stay in rank 1 in Fleet and Arena, right? A little bit less before Fleet came out, I know, but I'm saying right now, 1,200 crystals a day. So now you can get your 1,200 crystals a day, but you're going to have to expend so many of them on the Galactic Legends because of gear and accelerated characters like Piet, where it's like, okay, well, I guess I have to get him if I'm going to go for it. And they're trying to drive out the ability for players to play this game without actually paying, which is what a lot of the whales were doing too. I'm not saying this is just free to play. There were a lot of whales that spent early, realized that free to play were able to keep up, and then decided, well, I don't have to spend. I have all these crystals. I will just bank on these crystals because I have no competition in Arena with my current team, right? So they're accumulating the crystals, and now CG is finding a way, which they always do, to their credit, a way to drain you of a resource if they find that people have too much of it. We've seen this with every single resource. We had too many credits. What did? They put mods in the mod shop for credits, right? So everyone's credits are slowly draining down. I'm sure they're still monitoring it to the point where it gets below a threshold, and then they'll release a new level cap. I'm kind of banking on that being their strategy. They did that with the the ally tokens, right? They were spending ally tokens on those free packs, not free packs, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to remember the what are they? Bronzium data packs?
What, the rhodiums you mean?
No. The ally tokens, the free pack is like.
It's for bronziums, and then
Bronziums. Yeah, I was blanking on the name for a second. Yeah, the bronzium packs. Right? So you're spending it on that, and then they introduce you to all these other things you can buy with your ally tokens, where it drops you like 25k at a time to try and drain you of it. So this is a standard gaming business model. I don't blame CG or anything, right? This isn't necessarily a negative thing. It's just kind of pointing out where the game is. There is now, at the higher end, especially for free-to-play, if you compare, they are accumulating crystals at a very high rate, because there is a non-competitiveness at some point between the people that were competitive and not getting Galactic Legends, and now are competitive and getting Galactic Legends, and their ability to retain their spots somewhere in like the top 10 in both Fleet and Arena. So the crystal acquisition has gone up, and they want to make sure that people are paying for their product, not paying with the free stuff that they're giving you anyways. So how do you do that? You accelerate every single thing in the game.
Yep.
You accelerate character releases. You wailed on them, but 3PO and 2PO and Mon Mothma are not any better, right? They're going to be released free to play around the same time probably as Piet. So you have like 3 characters right now between 2PO, between Mon Mothma and Piet that are going to be needed for these Galactic Legends, that are going to be released into free to play probably around the same time towards the end of September. And then you have to get their gear up, right? you have to star them up. You're not going to get them into relics unless you get them 7-star, which means you're probably going to have to spend crystals on them. Then you have to do the gear. So it's not something that I think players, I don't mean to say this in any like negative way, but it's not something that players should be negative about. It is the state of the game.
Yeah.
The game has evolved. The game has evolved to a point where they are now accelerating every single timeline. And this was obvious to me, and that's exactly why I don't work on Galactic Legends.
I was about to bring that up.
Because if I'm trying to be competitive, there's no way I can keep up. I knew that as soon as relics were released. I'm like, there's no way I can keep up with this pace of acceleration. So I'm just going to play this game at the way that I want, and I will avoid Galactic Legends, because all that means is I am facing people with a much higher and accelerated roster that I'm not able to keep up with. So that's just my
well, yeah,
ended up 5 cents.
It's interesting. Like if you look at the GAC Center, you see me and Finn are at the top of the charts for GAC, right? But it's two totally different ways of going about our rosters, right? Finn is not getting the Galactic Legend. He focuses on certain teams and levels of his teams and has fun doing it that way. Now, I do it differently. I'm very lean, but I do get the upper echelon stuff, so I have an advantage, and I'm able to show those teams off when I'm doing it. It still works both ways, but you can be competitive in both instances, right? If you don't want to spend, you don't have to spend. If you do, then be smart about it. Because someone was asking me like today, like, have you spent weld on every character? I'm like, no. You know, I gave the example of Grief, Mando, and Kara. I didn't do Kara because she's just nowhere to be found, and you know, I mean, to be used properly, there's some teams she can work pretty solid on, but when I looked at it, I'm like, I'm not going to whale on Kara. I'll farm her free to play. And I wasn't going to do Mon Mothma. I'd done 3PO, Rebecca, for that purpose, but I had no interest in doing Mon Mothma. Well, now I have to, because of Galactic Legends, if I want to showcase my roster the way I'm doing it. So it's just some things you have to look at. Oh, but you got a $1.99 donation from DSP, says, well, harder or be free to play. That's pretty much what it comes down to. You know, so
yeah, I'm gonna say even free to play is now a much different thing than free to play was like a year ago or 2 years ago before Galactic Legends. And I'm telling you from personal experience, being somebody that was competitive in Arena and Fleet Arena, and decided that I am just not able to keep up with it. So I'm just going to continue to do what's fun. And so if you're going free to play, you have to put yourself in the right mentality. Right? It's important that you play this game with the right mindset. If you are going into this game, especially if you're a veteran player that used to be competitive in free to play, and you want to remain competitive, it requires a very, very great deal of focus, because you have to basically hoard every single thing. You are not really given any leeway to use on things that you just think are fun, because you are then going to miss out on Galactic Legends, because you need the gear for relics. You in fact destroy the lower level gear in order to create the relics that you need to start off with. So you can't just put it on a fun team. You can't spend your crystals frivolously, right? You have to spend it very efficiently. And in order to do that, that probably means waiting until it goes into shipments and planning out exactly how much you need to buy from shipments, so you can get it by a particular amount of time. I mean, I remember doing this early on, but it was more feasible. Things were not as accelerated as this.
Yeah.
So even free to play right now is not just free to play. It's a different type of free to play, and it depends on what type of free to play you want to be. So it's a different game. There's a lot of complexity now between, like, so the whales and the krakens have their realm, right? And those are the people that are going to spend and go ahead and get whatever they need. The others, though, small time spenders, free to play, they have a different mentality now going into this. And it's important that they stay focused on whatever it is they want. And that's why you see me building the way I want. My focus is on GAC, because to me, it is the most fun in this game. GAC to me is the most fun game mode. Normally, it would be team events like a raid, but we haven't had a raid in like 2 years now.
Yeah.
So because there's no raid, my focus is now on GAC. Now, if a raid came out, that might change my mentality. I love the team effects, like the team events, more than I like the individual ones, but GAC is just more fun right now than anything else in the game to me. But everyone else has a different thing that they like, so it's all about kind of finding what's fun for you and making sure your roster fits that. Don't just go chasing Galactic Legends because they're the best thing, because you can definitely hurt your roster as a free-to-play by going for a Galactic Legend. If you like particular game mode, there is some negative side effects.
All right. So let's play a commercial, Finn, get our thoughts together, and then we will do, we'll get into Admiral Piet.
Are you sick of having to go to the bathroom all the time? Would you prefer just hanging out with your friends instead of having to say this?
I've literally peed my pants, so I will be right back.
Then do we have the solution for you. Introducing the new Wells Fargo brand adult diaperoos with Star Wars theme. It'll be your first and last choice in adult diapers. Watch as we pour this glass of liquid into the diaper. As the diaper gets full, you'll see that the Luke changes to a Jar Jar. And when you see that Jar Jar, it's time to throw away that crap. So don't let this happen to you ever again.
I just wanted to say, too, that I peed my pants a little bit.
So get yourself some Wells Fargo brand adult diaperoos. We don't just make loans anymore, we take your deposits. Now also available in SpongeBob SquarePants and Hello Kitty themes. Not sold at any respectable retailer.
There you go. Ranger J, 1999, adult diaperoos. All right.
Before we go into Admiral Piet, can we talk about the Galactic Legends a little bit?
Oh, you want to go more into it? I thought you were done. Okay, yeah.
No. So that was more about just the release and stuff, right? But I want to talk about the actual characters.
Sure.
Because these characters, to me, are fascinating. Because of their roles in the actual movie and what they are. I missed your discussion on kind of a lot of the details on what you think this was going to be. I have a theory on what I'm hoping these characters are going to be, but I don't think it's going to happen. But I think it's a fun little theory if it's true.
Go for it, man. I mean, someone asked me what they think their kids are going to be like. I'm like,
I have a guess, but
your
I
guess
don't
as
think it's
good
gonna
as anybody out there, because I have
the CLS, right? You know how CLS has that ability that switches modes and stuff, right? So I'm thinking about these characters, and Luke's biggest scene when he was where he was, right? When they show him in that image, he wasn't Luke. You remember he was a Force ghost or whatever you want.
Force projection.
Force projection, right? So he was getting like shot at, and then Kylo came over, and he wasn't there, right? He was a Force projection. Similarly, Palpatine wasn't there until the very end, but for the most part, he was basically there through the controlling of Snoke, right?
Okay.
So, what if both of these Galactic Legends have special abilities that basically, and I'm going to equate it to a different game because I love the game and I love the concept behind it. The whole Zelda and Sheik type setup, where you go from starting with a Force projection Luke who cannot be attacked, similar to what Mon Mothma has, until all of his team dies, and then he switches into Jedi Master Luke. And now you have this one Jedi Master Luke left. And while he's in the Force projection, he does bonuses or whatever to his team. But once the rest of the team dies, then he becomes Jedi Master Luke, and then you have to beat him. Similarly, you have EP, who is going to be a Snoke character until the rest of the team dies. He can't be attacked as Snoke, but then afterwards, he switches into Sith Eternal Palpatine. That's the same character, but they basically have two phases where they start off in one phase that is untargetable, but once the rest of the allies die, they switch into their like more material view.
Okay.
Right? So that's my theory on what these Galactic Legends are going to be. Because they all have something that's neat about their kits, right? Rey and Supreme Leader Kylo have their neat ultimate abilities. I'm thinking the ultimate ability is going to be that for these two characters. Somewhere along the lines where Jedi Master Luke is going to have something with his Force projection, and Sith Eternal Palpatine is going to have something related to Snoke as a projection. It might be reversed, where the ultimate then switches them into their character, and then they do their bonus and stuff, so you can leave them as their Force projection or whatever, or you just charge it up, and when everyone dies, you go. But that's that's what my thought was when I read this and I saw what characters they picked. And we thought about this a while ago. We both said we think it was going to be Luke and Palpatine.
Yeah.
So that was my thought on theory crafting a kit for these two, and it would be really neat for me to see that. I know I'm not going to get them, but it would be extremely neat for me to actually see them in actual combat, where they had like a little switch mode where you just go from force projection. It's like, nope, it's time to kill things, and you switch to Jedi Master Luke and he just wrecks face. And the same thing with Palpatine. He's like, Snoke is just sitting there on his throne while everyone else is doing everything. And it's like, nope, time to wreck things. And then Sith Eternal Palpatine comes out and force lightnings the entire team. Like, that was my thought on the kit. So I just wanted to share that because I come up with crazy ideas.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. I just don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I see Luke. It's more support. Palpatine more is the aggressor, but these are galactic legends. So, I mean, I'm just a little like, what are their kits going to be? I'm already saving up 6 Zetas already. Or probably 12, which will be needed for both of them. I mean, we already can put that into the bag, right? You'll need 6 Zetas. But their kits are going to be huge. They're going to be monstrous. There's going to be a ton of information on it. So it's going to be where the CG foresees Luke and Palpatine and like what are their attack capabilities versus their defensive capabilities. What is going to be their role in whatever aspects that they get, because of course if Luke does not get Jedi tag, Adash is going to stroke out.
So do you have your game up? Do you have your game up?
I don't, but I can pull it up. Why?
So they put a description of both Luke and Palpatine that I think is fairly interesting in game that we might want to look at.
All right, give me a second.
So because they put it in the journey guide, there is a description to it, and it is pretty interesting what they have as the descriptions for these two characters. So I figured it's something worthwhile for us to look at,
okay,
especially Luke. So because the way that they worded this, right? That's why I'm afraid for Adastra a little bit. So I was reading this and it was very
telling.
Interesting. I mean, the way they worded this, it leaves them a little bit of an out. So that's why I was like, It was a little bit of a story.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So when you bring it out, let me know. I can read it out. Well, actually, I'll wait for you to bring it up so people can read along because I think it's a fun read. And I'm still checking also to see if PS stats and stuff are getting into GG, so we can talk about that as well. But it's not there yet, so. But yeah, so for those of you guys that don't know, a little bit before the stream, like 2 hours before the stream, they did an update in game, and we got Admiral Piet as one of the characters, so you can see him there. They also added to the journey guide the Luke and Palpatine events. And they're in the journey guide. There's only one tier released, right? So it's only the one tier. But yeah, you have to go through the objectives in the journey guide. But it's pretty neat what they did in order to describe, especially Luke. Less so Palpatine. There is something about Palpatine that's pretty interesting. But yeah, more so is Luke and what they did to describe him.
All right, so the journey guide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're right at the beginning, so Gaff P, reading with Finn, a lot different than reading with Grande, yes.
All right, so it says for Jedi Luke.
Mm-hmm. So Jedi Master Luke
was in self... Oh, you're going to read it? Okay, go ahead.
You can read it.
Okay, Jedi Master Luke Skywalker was in self-exile for his perceived failure as a Jedi and a leader, but through training Rey in the ways of the Jedi and reconnecting with Master Yoda, Luke reconnected with the Force and returned to the Resistance to lead his full power as a Jedi Master against Kylo Ren in the First Order. With his mastery of the Force, Luke performed feats that were never thought possible.
So, I read that, and there's one part that... Okay, so... The first part, they talk about him being a failure as a Jedi and all of that, and then eventually reconnecting, right? It seems like they left themselves a little bit of an out to not give him the Jedi tag with that statement. right? They're giving the summary. It's a correct summary of Jedi Master Luke, but it was one of those things when I read it, I'm like, oh no, are they leaving themselves an out? Because this is similar to what they gave as the reason why they didn't give the Jedi tag to Rey, right? So I don't think they're gonna avoid. They said he reconnected and then got his full power as a Jedi Master. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna get a Jedi. But here's the thing: they said he returned to the Resistance to lend his full power as a Jedi Master. I think he's gonna get a Resistance tag. I read this, and my thought was he is going to get a Resistance tag now. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a different type of tag, because when you read the Palpatine one, which we can read next, there's something else about that one. But with the Jedi Luke, the Jedi Master Luke, I should say, this description seems to indicate he is going to get a Resistance tag.
Kind of leaning that way, right?
Now, it doesn't mean he will, but that's just my
could be, yeah,
my leaning. So he might.
But then
be
they sit there and say Jedi Master, right? How can he not be a? How can you be
no,
a
he's gonna have
captain?
both. I
Not
think
be a
he's gonna have
master?
Resistance and Jedi.
Oh, you're
I think he's
going to
have
both.
double. I think he's going to be both. Similarly, Palpatine, I think, is also going to get that. So, if we look at the Sith Eternal Palpatine one, he also has an interesting thing here.
I need some skin cream. I have psoriasis. The Sith Eternal Emperor remained in the shadows for decades as he manipulated Kylo Ren, led the Sith Eternal, and constructed the Final Order fleet, all with the goal of bringing back the glory of the Galactic Empire. With his immense knowledge and mastery of the dark side, the Sith Eternal Emperor is more formidable than ever before. It's right, and I look good with my new red outfit.
So did you catch the part there of
Final Order?
Mm-hmm. So I think he's going to have a Sith tag. I don't think he's going to get a Sith Eternal tag. I don't think that's going to be... He would be the only one, right? So there's no reason for that tag. So I'm pretty sure he's going to get a Sith tag, just like Luke is getting a Jedi tag. But Luke is going to get a Resistance, while Palpatine is getting himself a Final Order. I think they're both going to be double tagged with those two based on this description. And because it says Final Order Fleet, I am wondering if we're going to get a bunch of pilotless ships for the Final Order, like the ones that Palpatine effectively force controlled, like the entire fight, right? And what was the name? Oh God, I'm blanking on all these names.
I'm not going to help you.
Yeah, well, wherever
learn your
he
lore.
was,
I'm tired of being the lore man.
You are the lore man. I don't know lore.
Well, what are you trying what are you trying to remember?
The name of the planet that Palpatine was basically at, where he had where he was creating the whole Sith Eternal thing, and then when the Resistance forces came and they were fighting, and he raised all those ships. I'm trying to remember what the name of the planet was, but wherever that was.
Starts with a T, I believe.
I'm sure somebody in chat will
someone will put it in there, like, you idiots.
Yeah. So I'm blanking on the name. I am not the lore person. I'm telling you right now. Like specifics on lore, I'm not going to be the person. Malachor.
Was it Malachor? It's not Malachor.
No, it's not
Malachor was with Rebels.
Was it Izagoth? No, not Malachor. This was Exegol. Exegol.
Thank you, Wolfell. There you go. I couldn't
remember.
Thank
you, Wolfell. Yeah. What else having to do with clothes? Izagoth. Yeah, Exegol. Thank you, Wolfell. Yeah. So it was So it basically in Exegol where he raised all those fleets, right? And he was basically controlling it with the Force. I don't think they were actually manned. So you could create a whole fleet of Final Order as pilotless ships. Could very well be the first pilotless, or I should say commanderless capital ship. We could have a commanderless capital ship as part of the Final Order. Or potentially Sith Eternal Palpatine could be one, but I think that's going to be a problem. Galactic Legend being a commander would be kind of an issue. But I think they were definitely manned, but it was kind of manned by Palpatine controlling the other Sith that he kind of brought back. It's a little... That's why I'm saying it's kind of not like manned, but yeah. But, I mean, it would
not
be neat.
Man.
Yeah, it's not a man. So, I mean, they have a lot of potential here with what the Final Order could bring to this, right? So yeah, I think potentially we can see some Final Order fleets. or ships. We could see a Final Order capital ship. What? You guys can correct me. I'm not saying it. I know he was force controlling all the ships. I didn't see anyone.
No. So, Finn, the First Order came in and started piloting all the ships. That's why they brought on the crew. They even talk about that, too, and they have a meeting about, like...
I thought there were a bunch of ships that he raised first from inside of XSWGOH.
No.
Separate from the First Order.
No. You see the commanders and on the ships and stuff like that. So there was personnel because the First Order had all populated. I mean, if they can populate a planet, they can destroy other planets. I'm pretty sure they can populate a fleet. So, yeah. It was personal because they said he'll provide the ships, so we provide us. The kind of thing. So, no. The thing.
There we go. So maybe you could see Final Order ships that are piloted. There you go. You could see no Mu Final Order characters. There you go.
So,
see, I said I'm not the lore person. I told you. I had the general idea of most of these. So,
Well, if you get lore wrong, sometimes people in the community will just want to cut
I
you.
get it wrong all the time. I get lore wrong all the time. That's what I'm saying. So, but yeah. So I'm thinking there's a lot of potential here with the Final Order and building up on that. But I'm thinking there's going to be 2 tags on both Palpatine and Luke. Now, the question with Luke is he returned to the Resistance, right? But yeah, I mean, technically, he was still with the Resistance at the time. They hadn't turned into that Resistance Allied forces where Poe went around and grabbed everyone else. Like, Luke was gone by that time. So, well, minus the Force Ghost that came to help Rey become a Skywalker or whatever the hell was going on there. But, yeah, so he would probably be Resistance, and then Palpatine would probably be the Final Order. I don't think he would have a First Order tag, which is going to be interesting because we have seen some favoritism of CG towards light side, right? Light side is still, I believe, outnumbering dark side by 3-2 or something like that as a ratio, something like that. And they're still releasing some of the better characters, I think, to the light side in general.
Yeah, they are.
So I mean, yeah.
All right, so
just my thoughts. I wanted to discuss that a little bit more with the kit as well as what they brought in. Prerequisites is still open except for those 5 now. We did have one question come up, which is true. They're showing 15 prereqs for these in the Journey Guide. They did the same thing.
I got that response today. They did that with the other one too, and then the final requisites came out to 12. Mm-hmm. So
if you remember, there was one update that they dropped 2 of them, and everyone was like, 2 of them dropped. We're like, what? 2 of them dropped. Then we looked back, and 2 of the circles were gone. So yeah. So they got rid of some of the requirements there. So there may be 15. There may be less. They're changing it right now as we go along. We know that. So just keep your eye out on the number of bubbles that are there as they go through the next couple weeks and give us more details.
All right. What else? 3 says it's okay, Finn. It's not like you're a doctor and have to remember technical things or anything. And if you've ever seen Finn do the surgeon simulator, you know exactly what that means. It's pretty.
There's nothing up here of that.
Yeah. It's not good. All right. Shall we get into Piat? Admiral Piet. He is the next contestant on The Price is Right. Let me switch over back into the forums, and then we'll get back into this. So, Admiral Piet, new dark side character. Gotta say, pretty damn good kit. So let's get into this. Admiral Piet, alignment dark. He's dark side support leader, Empire and Imperial trooper. So he's an ambitious Imperial officer who supports his allies while plotting their demise. Good. Basic, intensified firepower. I wish they said forward firepower, but they didn't do it. So, intensified forward firepower. I want anything getting through. Too late. Final text, deal physical damage to target enemy and call another random Empire ally to assist. Allies with inevitable failure are called to assist. Not too bad. Special 1, Imperial Ambition. Final text, all allies gain offensive up for 2 turns, and Admiral Piet gains stealth for 2 turns. Inflict marked for 2 turns and 3 stacks of inevitable failure on target other Empire ally until end of the battle, or that ally is defeated. and then remove an inevitable failure from all other allies. These debuffs can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. What is inevitable failure? Gain 1 stack when using an ability or receiving damage from an enemy. When defeated, grant Piet the following bonuses based on the defeated enemy stats to the end of the game. If they had 1 stack, he gets 5% max health. 10, they get 20% max health and max protection. 15, he gets 50% max health, protection, and offense. And 20, if it's out there, you're in big trouble anyway, but it's 100% max health and max protection, 300% offense, and 25% speed stacking. Yeah, you might want to kill him pretty early. Special 2, this is the Zeta. It's suborbital strike. Final text, dispel all buffs on light side enemies, deal physical damage to all enemies, and inflict daze for 2 turns. Jesus. Allies with inevitable failure gain 2 stacks. If this attack defeats an enemy, inflict fear on all the enemies for 1 turn. And allies with the IF gain 5 stacks. This fear can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. Leader, Zealous Commander. Final text, Empire allies have 30% offense and potency. Light side enemies have minus 30% tenacity and minus 15 speed. When an ally with inevitable failure critically hits an enemy, they gain 1 stack of the same buff and defensive buff for 2 turns. Oy. Unique one, his other Zeta, the Emperor's Trap. Final text, Admiral Piet has a plus 60% counter chant. Gains 5% turn meter whenever another Emperor ally takes damage. Whenever an Empire ally begins a turn or attacks out of turn, all Empire allies gain a stack of the Emperor's Trap until the start of the next turn, non-Empire allies' turn, or the end of the battle. The Emperor's Trap can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. If Darth Vader is an ally, Darth Vader and Admiral Piet have plus 20% accuracy, potency, and tenacity. And the Emperor's Trap gives plus 6% offense and potency per stack. Wowzer. I looked at this, Finn, and I said, well, Vader's going to basically manhandle some people now with Piet on that team. Holy shit. Pretty goddamn good kid, if you ask me. I gave this an S-ranked rating when I looked at it, because I was like, that's ridiculous. Oh my god. It's like, alright, I'm going to buff you. Oh, did you damage? I get more turn meter. I'm going to buff Vader now. And now Vader's going to destroy you like you deserve. Oof. Good lord. Finn, your thoughts. I gave my thoughts yesterday when we were looking at this, but your thoughts, man.
I mean, I looked at it and I think I gave a grade of an A.
Everyone's between A and S on this kit.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, this looks really good. The unique in particular. I'm trying to fully understand the part that's going to be shared with all Imperial troopers, right? So let's say he's not in the leader spot, and you have like the Veers and Stark, and you put Piet on the team. You now give everyone, I believe, the 60% counter chance, right? That's what I'm actually looking up the wording right now to make sure I understand how you share the uniques. Right, because that's one of the big things of all of the other Imperial troopers is that while they're active, he doesn't have it. Right, he unfortunately, from what I can see, doesn't have anything that he shares with Imperial troopers. Right, I'm missing it. I just want to make sure.
It's just all allies.
It's just all allies. So he has an Imperial trooper tag, but he doesn't have an Imperial Trooper ability that gets shared with anyone.
Well, his abilities get shared, but the thing with Imperial Troopers is that they get the bonuses.
But not like the Imperial Troopers, right? They have a part in their unique that says if they're active, all Imperial Troopers get something.
Sure.
And this is more... most of the stuff actually isn't even for all Empire. Like, most of the stuff is just based on him. Like, he's not giving a buff to them, right? He gains the counter chance with his unique. He gains a turn meter whenever an Empire ally, which is fine. Whenever an Empire ally, they give the Emperor's Trap, right? So the Emperor's Trap is something that he can potentially distribute, because all allies get it whenever an Empire ally attacks out of turn, which is quite possible with a lot of the Imperial troopers. He just
they call assist a lot, so
yeah,
it's going to be one of those things. Plus the other one too, with what they're doing too. But you look at this kid, and he'll be great with the troopers. We still have to see his
I don't
speed.
think that's the team, though. That's my
point.
I don't think it's the troopers.
No,
team.
I think this
he's
is
going to be with
this is for
EP
Thrawn,
Vader.
EP, yeah, where you put him in there, and those guys get ridiculous, especially Vader. I mean, what they gave with him and Vader, 20% actually potency and tenacity, that's ridiculous. I mean, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Vader's going to, I mean, he's already a monster. Can you imagine him having those extra little goodies running around with?
I'm actually thinking more of EP. Because EP is going to get Emperor's Trap stacked on him. How many times have you done that freaking AoE stun and just had resists?
Oh, yeah. That's a
But
good
now
point.
you are getting potency stacks on EP. I am actually thinking more that EP, while Vader gets a huge benefit for it, I'm not saying he doesn't get the most benefit of it. I think one of the more crucial ones is actually going to be EP getting that. So, I mean, yeah, I'm actually liking EP with the unique more so than anything else, personally.
Well,
So-
you imagine him with the new, if let's say the kit for the new Palpatine is ridiculous and you throw Piet in there.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of potential here with that. And so, yeah. So, I mean, he's going to fit on an Empire team. I don't think it's necessarily going to be an Imperial Trooper team.
No,
And
but you could use it.
you can use it on there, and they're going to get a benefit from it. I mean, with someone like a range trooper and stuff, you could potentially do it. If you had, I mean, Magma Trooper kind of does. I've always liked Magma Trooper. I like his kit just in general because of his ability to gain turn meter. You could put him under a Thrawn lead, right? And you face somebody that's constantly debuffing. You add Piet on that team. You could get a lot going with Magma Guard here, which may end up being something for the raid, by the way. Just theory crafting
Sure.
right now. Thrawn, Magma Guard, and Piet might be a fun combination to try out in the actual Sith raid. To try and see if you can get Magma Guard just to keep going and 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 going. So, just some theory crafting there. But yeah, I still think it's going to be more along the lines of EP and Vader and Thrawn probably being a much more dominant team than even what they currently are, because Vader is pretty dominant. But yeah, I think it's going to be even more so now with this.
Yep. Also, I'm seeing a lot of people putting questions in the channel. Remember, guys, if you want us to answer one of your questions, you've got to put the word question in front of your actual question statement. We use Nightbot. We have a ton of people chatting and stuff, which we encourage, but we can't see your questions. And the only way we can filter out to get your questions is through that way. So make sure you put the word question in front of your actual question statement so we can get it scooped up for you. And James O'Mahony says, hey, Finn and Archie gang. Glad to see you here, James. All
Hi,
right.
James. Hope you're feeling better.
Yes, we were glad to see James feeling better and doing better. So that name popped out because I know he wasn't feeling too good, and we're glad to see that he's doing much better. Okay, so we've got that. So we've covered the Galactic Legends. We've got Piet. I think they announced the calendar, so let me go to that real quick before we start getting to the questions. So get your questions in now, guys. Helps to get them in sooner rather than later. Yep, there is. We had the event calendar for September. We're also in GAC season 10. So, but nothing really here.
Really? I saw something big on there.
No, I'm talking about GAC. It's 5v5 ships. So
Yeah, I know.
what?
That's 2 consecutive 5v5 plus fleet. We're skipping a 3.
Oh, I just said that too. Well, all right.
We're skipping a 3.
Yay!
I hate 3s.
Me and you both hate them.
I saw that. I'm like, wait, really? It's gonna be 5v5 plus fleet? Hooray! No 3s. No
I
3s.
did not see Gas's events in here.
No, they don't
so-
normally put those in there.
But I was looking for a
unfortunately. Same
date
thing
that
with
maybe
Luke.
they would do it, but it's like
No, they're not going to do it with those. So
No.
Luke and Gas are going to be a little bit of a surprise.
you
still
see
whenever
where
they
the
come.
territory battles are, territory wars. This guys, if you guys don't check this out, you should at least look just to see what's coming up, things like that. It can help you plan out some of the stuff you're working for. And the login character for September is IG88.
Which is interesting.
We always
don't
say
know.
that. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's related, and sometimes
I
it's
mean,
like,
I do have a theory on why it is. We're getting the IG-11 from the Mandalorian.
That could be. It wouldn't shock me in the slightest, right?
That
could
is
be
my
the
guess. We still
correlation.
are due for some more Mandalorian characters. We still need Krill, right? We need Quill, and I think we need IG-11, and then we can start working our way to Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking that's there. I mean, the Galactic Legends are happening, but that's not distracting. That didn't distract them from putting out Jedi Knight Luke, right, with Rey and Kylo. So I'm still thinking that we're getting IG-11 and Quill here, and that's why they made IG-88 the character.
That could be the
IG-88
case.
and 11 kind of look very similar. That's what I initially thought it was IG-88 when I first saw it, and I think it was. I can't remember who I asked. I asked a bunch of people, like, is that IG-88? And I think you told me it wasn't, and other people did.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Still the IG in it.
Mm-hmm. So I think there is some stuff. Weirdly enough, I think there is some stuff in the calendar that's interesting. The 5v5, the 88, but yeah, no gas or Jedi Knight Luke announcement. But I think we have a general idea of when those are going to be there. So.
Okay. And then of course, GAC is going on, and we will do our GACs tomorrow. I'll do mine during the lunch stream. We'll go ahead and knock that out, and then Finn will do his right after mine. So you can expect those fun things tomorrow. The new Galactic Challenges are out. I mean, it is what it is. I don't really have anything more to say about Galactic Challenges. This one was a little bit more difficult in the sense that after Tier 5, the way the event played with... It's got Jedi Knight Revan, Jolie, Zalbar. Who was the other two on there? Basila and...
Mission, right? I think it was Mission.
Mission, yeah. So...
And then didn't it summon somebody else? Or no?
No, doesn't summon anybody
Okay.
else. But it's got that ability thing. So I beat it with the Rebels, but then I went back in like I always do with the Underman team and did it with Rey, just to see how Galactic Legends dominate the damn thing. So, but I always try to run it with the teams like the Rebels, the teams that it's specific for, and pretty solid. So, but it is what it is. I mean, you get the buff, you get the thing, and the rewards. I mean, they were a little bit better this time. I mean, they had stun guns in there, which was really nice. They were giving away an upper echelon Cara Dune shards, which was kind of cool, right? But again, still that paywall, like to get the really good stuff, you have to be like the certain gear level, like Relic 3 and Relic 5. If you don't have like all Relic 5 characters, you just can't. You can beat everything else, but you're not going to get that upper echelon stuff. So it's like, okay. We'll see.
I mean, I haven't done it yet, right? But I saw you doing part of it earlier, and I was just kind of looking around, and there's other people doing Galactic Challenges too. One thing I'll say, I do like the fact that this seemed more difficult.
It was a little bit more difficult
on this one. Was
Yep.
definitely nicer. The other part, I can't remember who said it last week, or on Jedi Academy. So I apologize. I know somebody mentioned it. I think it was Clash. I want to say it was Clash. Mentioned that they should have a toggle on the environmental abilities in the Galactic Challenge, where then you are effectively trying to fight a Jedi Knight Revan team as a sandbox. Now, it's not the team that you would normally use with Jedi Knight Revan, right? But it is a place that if you wanted to see how something worked against Jedi Knight Revan, you toggle it off, you become ineligible to get any of the rewards, and when you do that, you now can go in and attack it. I think that was a great idea by, again, I think it was Clash. And I really hope that they do consider doing that, because I think that would really improve the replayability of this event. It's clear that there went into a lot of effort to put this together, right? It looks like Assault Battles. There are subtle differences that make it obvious that it's not like they might have started with the general framework, but they've done a lot of changes to the Assault Battles to make the Galactic Challenges. It still doesn't feel different from Assault Battles. And that's what the problem is.
Yeah.
When you look at it from like the back end and what they actually put into it, it's definitely much more complex than Assault Battles. It still feels like it, so they need to do something to change it. And I think just a simple toggle switch that makes you ineligible for any of the rewards, but lets you play the event like you're just fighting 5 characters at a high difficulty would be a whole lot better. And I think that would improve that event quite a bit, so people can play however they want. They don't have to play with the event. They can play against certain characters. You get that pseudo sandbox mode. I'm not going to call it the actual sandbox. I know what a sandbox is supposed to be. It's more of a pseudo sandbox. And you get that ability to play it. But I do like the fact that the difficulty was increased, because the other two, we were like, oh, well, it's kind of easy. They were less difficult than even Challenge 3 of the Assault tier. Felt good that it looked good anyways, that they actually made something so difficult that you actually had something to work towards, that this was going to be kind of their new end game for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I did like the difficulty pack, but again, little suggestions here and there, like a toggle switch for for the challengers or the modifiers would be excellent, I think, and that would make this event a lot better.
I agree. All right, so I think that covers all the main news. So we'll get into the Q&A section here in a second. But before we do that, we got to shout out everybody, Finn. So let's start saying thank you to everybody. First off, with our Patreons, you can see the names buzzing by here. These are all people that support us on Patreon at different levels, and we just want to give their names quick shout out saying thank you for all your support. Couldn't do it without you guys. You can see a lot of the names are in the chat as well. You'll see a lot of that, of people's names in all different areas, but very much appreciated. So thank you to all our Patreon sponsors. Very much, very, very much appreciated. And when's our next VIP one, Finn?
Actually, I was going to mention that. I'm going to stay maybe a little bit late on Friday after State of Survival. It's going to be for the blue VIPs. We'll do a blue VIP session for my modding Friday after State of Survival.
Okay.
So blue VIPs, I was going to send an announcement here afterwards. And then the first, I think we're going to move it to Thursdays. We'll message all the VIPs and let you guys know, because we've had some schedule changes and stuff with real life. So we've had to modify a little bit on the Fridays. But on Thursday, I think is when we're going to do our VIP sessions. And the second Thursday of every month is going to be What a Whale Wants, which we stream live with our gold VIPs. So
okay. And then right now you see everybody that's following us on Twitch. This list has grown exponentially. So once upon a time we used to shout out everybody's name, but we've just got so many people following us now that we just what is it, 1,000 followers on Twitch? We're over 1,000 followers on Twitch.
Mm-hmm. We're over 1,000 followers.
That's insane. So that's just appreciation to all you guys. We have the name scrolling here just to say thank you for all your guys' support over there. And I know you guys really enjoy the Twitch stuff that we do, because we can do some really fun stuff over there with Twitch. So again, thank you guys for all your support. We're just letting the names run through here so everybody gets the deserved credit that they deserve as supporting us. So yeah, almost at the end. We're getting there. We're in the R's. I even sped this up, man. This list is getting longer and longer, man. It's amazing. So, oh goodness,
it's like the credits at an end of a movie.
I know,
like you're just
right?
waiting for, like, you're either waiting for them to end or you're waiting to see your name.
I know.
One of those things.
Oh look, there was my name, second production designer, and it's gone.
I know that person. I know that person too.
And then should be right at the end. We can thank all the YouTube folks that have supported us with sponsorships and stuff on YouTube. There we go. So again, thank you to everybody that sponsors and supports us on YouTube. And anyway, you guys, and support just these are people that donate and stuff, but we also are appreciative of everybody that gives us a thumbs up, that watches our content. That's just as valuable. So thank you for anything that you can do is always appreciated, and any support that you guys do. So again, thank you for the YouTube support as well. All right, let's get into the Q&A. Well, we have to do the shout outs for like the people that are here tonight, right?
Yeah, I'll collect the Schweben stuff if you want to start questions, and we'll do the shout out.
Well, and I have to pull up Nightbot. I didn't know that. And mine's on Twitch, so
I have Nightbot actually.
Okay.
I think I have Nightbot set to YouTube, so.
So get your questions in, and then we'll do the names of the shout-outs here in a second. I thought Finn had those collected already.
No, I hadn't collected the names yet, so I'll start doing those now.
For Schweben.
But I do have Nightbot up because I was getting ready.
Okay, let's do that then. Let's do some
first
questions.
question from Nathan H. Question, Ranger, are you feeling better?
Yeah, thank you. Thank to everybody that's been checking in on me. If you guys don't know, I got hit with a kidney stone late. Yesterday morning I woke up in tremendous pain. Absolute pain, and fought it, and then was not going to go in, and then finally, I thought it was calmed down a little bit, but it got to the point I was on the lunch stream with Finn, or when Finn was doing his stream, and then it hit me like again, and I just was like, I've had enough. Went in, and they got me taken care of. It was kidney stones, and so I've been the last 2 days on Percocet and drinking lots of water, and I have to drink beer for the last 2 days because it does help with the stones apparently. So I haven't eaten anything. So yeah, I'm a little loopy still. You guys can tell I'm a little bit loopy because of the pain medication, but I'm doing good. I'm fine. I'm totally fine, and I appreciate everybody checking in on me. The pain is definitely not there, and what pain there is, it's not that bad, so I can deal with it. Especially when you have Percocet. Really works.
All right. I put in Finn stuff, the shout out names, if you want to read those, Ranger.
All right, but we always do something fun with those. Is there any? Who do we want to do today? It's been a while.
You know what? Since he's coming to the game, can you read them as Palpatine?
Okay.
We have Sith Eternal Palpatine.
All right, everyone. I've returned from the evanescence of the dark side. Who are these scrubs that shout out? Let's find out. Ahsoka Meow, Bimatsu, Boris, CBO 97, Contingent 33, Psycho Drums, Darth Scion 1972, Dexatronic, Dr. Feelgood, Exo, Feed Zeke, Gav B, Ghost Strike, John Moran, JV420, Nathan H, Obi John, Plasma, Ray Rock, Raza 972, Jason Suicide Squad, Tits of Fury, Wells 73, Warfel, Utah, and Zerial. All correctly put Swevin. Good. All right, there we go. All right, let's do some questions. Question 10.
All right, so first question now from What Else 73. Just checking in, my thinking. I'll unlock Supreme Leader Kylo in about 25 more tickets, then work his ultimate. Then I'm going after Jedi Master Luke Galactic Legend, so I have one light side and one dark side Galactic Legend.
I like it. And you'll work on Rey part of that, because Rey and some of those characters, like just on like if you did Palpatine, some of those will be for Kylo Ren. So it's not a bad plan.
Does that mean effectively you're hoarding? I'm assuming that means you're hoarding for stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're hoarding, then go for it. Because of course we don't know exactly what the requirements are, right? So you'll have to hoard for a little bit, but yes.
All right.
Next, Obi-John72 question: is one of the new abilities for Jedi Master Luke the squirting green milk, which when used disables your enemies by making them violently puke?
I don't even want to think that oh, God. Oh boy.
I think that's like the worst image of that creature just coming out and then Luke just going and just like spraying milk all over you. That's the greatest animation. It's never happening. But that would be the greatest thing.
I wouldn't even know what to do with that. I'd be
milk attack!
Green milk attack. When Luke gets really angry and tries to trick you, expect the spray of the green substance all over your enemies.
Oh my God.
All enemies hit with green milk are immediately disoriented for 2 rounds and puke.
That's awful. Oh my God. No, this is normal Finn. This is unfortunately normal Finn. This thing. Okay. Excellent.
That's horrifying.
Obi-John. All right, next question. From Lord Wick 45. Question: do you think Jedi Luke will be needed for Galactic Legend Luke?
So we know that Galactic Legends will not be needed for these other Galactic Legends. However, that one was asked yesterday as well, and I was like, it could be. He's a legendary character.
I'm going to say no for the reason that
I want to say
mentioned
no,
earlier.
but would it not be in the realm of possibility that threw Luke in there as a requirement?
The problem is it changes the whole thing they're doing with Galactic Legends. Like, the whole point right now was that Galactic Legends, you don't have a timer. We're releasing it into the Journey Guide so you can get these at your own pace. If you are now gated by Jedi Knight Luke, you are screwed from that. Because we have at least a year before, not a year now it's like 8 months or whatever, before Jedi Luke comes into the Journey Guide for just full consumption, right? So you can have everything ready except Jedi Luke, and you cannot get it like the next day. You have to wait 3 months, 4 months to get it.
That's why I was really against the idea.
Yeah, so I don't think Jedi Luke is going to be used. Weirdly enough, I don't think he's going to be used.
I don't think so either. But again, I can't say that 100% because it's like
no, I can't either. It would make sense from the progress, right? You would expect Farm Boy, you would expect CLS, you would expect Jedi Knight Luke, and to be part of the requirements, but it becomes a problem. Yeah. So I'm guessing no, and I'm thinking they're almost like keeping it mirrored. If you notice, there was only 3 tiers listed for these two, right? You have Emperor Palpatine. You can compare that to CLS. You have Farm Boy, who you can compare to Sidious. There's no kind of equivalent on the Palpatine side to go against Jedi Knight Luke. So I'm thinking that he's not going to be a part of it. Now, potentially, they include Jedi Knight Luke and Vader, and that's why they both got reworked, because now they're going up for their final characters. But I don't think... I'm really hoping CG doesn't do that, because that ruins the fact that the Galactic Legends are kind of in the Journey Guide to some extent. Not fully, but to some extent, it does ruin that.
We'll see what happens, but I think we're both can confidently say no, but not 100%.
I'm not confidently saying. I would say 51%. It's not hugely confident.
I'd go 70-30 on that.
Yeah, I would just go 51 knowing CG. It just I don't know if they put that much thought into it.
We'll see.
Next thing is we got the same question from John Moran, which Luke will be required for Galactic Legend Luke, and I think we mentioned that a little bit. Next one, Gav P question. I have a Zeta Finn led Relic 5 Resistance team to beat in GAC. So the team is Zeta Finn, Resistance Hero Poe and Finn, Haldo, and Rose. What is the best counter versus this team, and what gear level?
All kinds. It's not a strong.
I'll let you handle this, because if somebody has that with what I'm facing, that means they're going for Galactic Legends, and most of their relics are all First Order. So Resistance. So their team is pretty weak in other spots. So I could use higher end teams to beat
You can use pretty much any team. I mean, because a team like we saw in 3, just to give an example that people were using in that scenario, Finn. You know, you saw Hero Finn, Hero Poe, and Finn. Now, it's a strong team, but, you know, good Lord, it was easy to destroy, because if you have, like, CLS, you know, it just eats it alive. So there's a lot of teams. I mean, I can go down the list of just so many teams that will just destroy that. So let's just say you have a ton of options at your disposal to destroy that team. It's not that hard. You can't go in with weak stuff, but, like, good Lord. I mean, you can almost nest all of that if you have a high relic nest, because it's not going to do anything. She's going to dispel everything. She's going to go in and hit the crap. I mean, Kira Nest, go have fun. I mean, that's the kind of team it is. It's like the Old Republic. It's not got the same oomph as like the JTR side of that Resistance team, where it's JTR, you know, BB-8, things of that nature. So yeah, it's not something you need to stress about.
Yeah, but it does need to be fairly geared. Don't underestimate it, because
don't go in there like gear 11 thinking, oh well, this is Finn. You're gonna get in trouble. Yeah. But if you go in there with a really solid team, a lot of them are going to just basically destroy it. So.
All right, Thane Tyrell, question for Millennial Finn: are these Galactic Legends setting the stage for Galactic Saviors, Rey Skywalker and Ben Solo next year?
I hope not. Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
if we look at the progression of the game,
oh no,
right, it's a matter of time before you use the Galactic Legends for something bigger, right? It's just a matter of time. So, is that time coming sooner than later? That's kind of the question, right? So, possibly. I mean, it would fit.
No, it's not gonna...
The characters that they're releasing are all part of the new trilogy, right? They didn't really do anything with the older trilogies. The Galactic Legends are all part of the new stuff. So if you're continuing with that and you didn't give Rey the Jedi tag because your reasoning was she wasn't a Jedi at the time that this character was in what this character was based on, then yeah, it is quite possible that we're going to see a Galactic Savior. I'm not going with that title, but I'm fine with it for now. Galactic Savior Rey and a Ben Solo. it would make sense.
Yeah, makes sense. All right.
Ouchie, question. Will Palpy have an option to switch modes, fingers or no fingers?
Yeah, if Luke can be a ghost, Palpy can have fingers and no fingers. Oh no, my digit fell.
You know what would be really cool is if when the Snoke switches to Palpatine, he gets like cut in half and the body kind of crumbles and Palpatine is left standing inside of it. That would be really cool. Gav P, question. Would chasing a new galactic legend without pursuing the old ones and or Jedi Knight Luke be hindering your roster in the same way for going for Rey and Supreme Leader Kylo without gas or gas without Drevin, top heavy and bottomless roster?
No, because these are galactic legends, so now you have 4 to choose from. Getting one just makes your roster better if you've done it the right way. Like if you build up your roster and then you get a galactic legend. Before the debate was who do you go for first, right? Kylo or Rey. Now once we look at everybody's kit, and we still have to wait for their kit to come out, but you could say, I'm going to get Luke first. And you go for it. And it's not going to hinder you, right? And it could hinder you if you're starting from scratch and you go for Galactic Legend. But no, it just gives you more options of which Galactic Legend you work on, because the way they wrote it in the post, that they're all on the same level, Galactic Legends level of characters. So, yeah, it just depends on what you want to work on first. But we need to see the kits. It's hard to give you a good read without seeing the kits first. Because once we see it, because then we still maybe Kylo will be the first one we say, no, still go for Kylo. You know, but... Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my thought is actually maybe the other way, right? The new characters have always been a little bit better than the older ones,
could
right?
Be.
In just the progression.
Yeah, it could happen.
Right? Because we had Traya. Revan was better than Traya. Darth Revan was better with Malik, better than Darth Revan. Then we got Gas. Now we got the Galactic Legends, Rey and Kylo. It stands to reason that the next two, Galactic Legend Luke and Palpatine, will be better than Galactic Legend Rey and Kylo. Not to say Galactic Legend Kylo and Rey won't be good, but if you look at the way that they have to kind of power creep this to make the newer characters worthwhile, otherwise all they're doing with Luke and Palpatine is trying to make you buy on nostalgia, right? Mm-hmm. If it's shown that Rey and Kylo are better than Palpatine and Luke, why would anyone really want it otherwise, other than to say, I have the Galactic Legends and I have them. I have 4 Galactic Legends. That would be it, right? A person that's minimal spender, just trying to make sure they can stay rank 1 in Arena, if they can stay pat with their Rey and Kylo, they'll skip it. And that's not good. So it's, to me, more likely that Luke and Palpatine will actually be more powerful than Rey and Kylo. Maybe not to a huge degree, but to some degree, I think they're going to be the next level of power creep. And we'll see that play out a little bit to the same extent that we have all the other metas in the past. Just all the other metas, it's all going to work out that way. So.
That works for me. All right, next question.
Thane, question, is Krennic the Rose of these Galactic Legends?
Yes, he is. That really broke my heart, seeing that really... Krennic's like, God damn. Oh, boy, what a shit.
I actually don't think Krennic is terrible.
He's terrible, man.
No, it's just there's no use for him. A counterattacking
Thus
Empire
making him terrible.
No, it's not terrible. There's a lot of teams that we don't have a use for anymore that just, I mean, we throw him to the wayside, right? I don't think he's terrible.
His kit's bad. He's a bad kid, man.
I don't think it is. I think I don't think his kit is bad. I think it's one of those where it's a good kit without a specific purpose. I kind of feel the same way about Mon Mothma. I put Mon Mothma into that same category where it's a decent
because
kit,
Mon
but
Mothma does
slower.
more for and does stuff for other characters and makes some other characters
counterattacking Empire is ridiculously good when you put in the right characters.
But I mean,
at lower levels.
But
that's my point. It's all lower level stuff. Same thing with Mon Mothma.
Yeah, but I just think Krennic's kit, I mean, it's garbage, man. It's just, that's why you don't see him used and people not working on him, because it's just,
I mean, I like
crap.
Ewoks. I think Ewoks are good, but no one really uses them at the higher level
but
either.
you can, and they did for a little while, right? But there's some of the stuff that the Ewoks do that's really nice. But Krennic, especially if you don't have Death Trooper.
I don't think he's as bad. He's not great. Don't get me wrong. If I was to put him on a scale from your scale of like F to S or whatever, I would probably put him at around like a D+ or a C-, but mainly because he is something that I think works out really well for mid-level players than at the upper end. Yeah, same thing. Same reaction basically with Mon Mothma. I think Mon Mothma has a little more flexibility, than Krennic, but I actually like Krennic's kit, and we know Urban likes Krennic.
Yeah,
so.
but then
Urban loves Krennic.
Urban loves
But, but I think Krennic has uses, but just not at the top level, and so it's very easy to disregard him. So again, it's not something that I think people should relic, but it's just one of those where it's like, okay.
It's one of those things. It's like when I did. It's like
worse.
when I did Resistance Pilot. I was like, I gotta do it. Don't want to do it, but I gotta do it. You know. So that's what I feel about Krennic. So, all right, next question.
John Moran, question: will we get space horses as a ship?
You just hold your breath on that one, buddy.
All right. Dane Tyrell, question for Millennial Finn. How is your Lobot lead Cheapio team doing for you? I'm still working on gear. I don't put them into my GAC really until they're up to gear 11. So I'm still working on the gear for that team to do it. It takes a while to get all the characters up to gear 11. So I'm working on it for you guys. So
there you go.
Bear with me. Next one. Elliot Worsfold, did Grande quit the game? No, he did not.
He's just
Grande
busy.
did not quit.
He's just getting less time to stream. So
I have whenever the next time we do D&D is, there is a Grande video for you guys as one of the intermission videos. So little spoiler there for you guys.
There you go.
Darren Patterson, question: do you think Admiral Piet will get a capital ship? That's an interesting question.
I mean, he did run the Superstar Destroyer, and I don't know how they're going to fit that on the screen. It's a possibility, but at this point, I don't think at the moment, no. Boy, I don't see it yet. It could come down the line. I think it's more just a character to start rounding out the Empire teams. I don't think they're going to be doing anything with ships. Other than, I don't think we're getting more capital ships for a while. I think we're going to be getting more ships that are pertaining to like filling out people's roster, which is my hope. They've been doing a good job with the tank ships coming in, but we still need a lot of ships for some of the factions that really round out those factions. So, I don't see it coming anytime soon. Will it mean that in the future it won't? No, it would make sense. He was a fleet admiral and stuff, so sure.
Yeah. So there you go. Next one is Matt Richmond. Question: do you expect a Royal Guard rework for the new Palpatine?
No.
Maybe a taunting tank. No. I want the new ones.
No, you want the troopers that were, you want the Royal Guard that were guarding Snoke.
Yeah, I want the Snoke Royal Guard. I'm trying to remember what they were called. Was it the Imperial Guards? Was that the name for them?
I don't know.
What was the name for
something like that, but yeah.
They had a special name. I'm forgetting what it is now. But yeah, they had and of course, it's a lore thing, so I'm blanking on the name.
It's fine.
Yeah, but those, I want one of the Red Guards in order there. Yeah. And I would also say, if we're getting Sith Eternal Palpatine, I didn't mention this before, the Knights of Ren.
Oh, Elliot Worsfold said Praetorian.
Praetorian Guard. Thank you very much. Praetorian Guards, yes. So the Praetorian Guard, and if we're getting the new Palpatine, I'm telling you, I'm really hoping for the Knights of Ren.
I would love the Knights of Ren. I would love the Inquisitors to come into the game for the Empire. I mean, there's a lot of factions and stuff that they can still pull in. Yeah.
For other Final Order.
Well, no, but I'm just not just that Final Order, but I'm thinking like just for Empire and stuff like that. You know, just there's so many characters and groups of characters that they could bring in that could really be a lot of fun, and they could do some stuff.
But I'm just saying, we were talking about the Final Order tag coming in, right? Sure. Potentially based on that thing. And what are you going to do with the Final Order? You might add some ships and stuff, but Knights of Ren with the Final Order tag, I think could be
that could be cool.
So that's my thought. Because right now we don't have. I mean, if it goes based on how it read, Jedi Master Luke has all of the Resistance to pick from, so it's kind of easy to put at least some characters behind him. If Palpatine has the Final Order, he might have the Sith tag as well, but what do you do with this Final Order? And to me, Knights of Ren makes the most sense of all of those. And I think that would be really, really cool to get all of those. I don't know what you would call them. Would you have like Bowstaff Knights of Ren, Saber Knight of Ren? Like, I don't know what you would call them, but Knight of Ren 1, Knight of Ren 2. I don't know what names you would give them. Maybe we would actually get that in game now, what you actually call them. But yeah, that would be pretty neat. Yeah, so let's see. Next question is What else 73? Do we expect Jedi Knight Luke to pop in sooner because of the Galactic Legend announcement? I mean, he can return whenever. The problem is he's still on a 3-month rotation.
Yeah, we're past the 60 mark, so I'm still thinking September sometime. I think Gas is going to come before Luke. But yeah, I don't foresee Luke coming back to probably, at this point, probably mid to late September. And then we'll get another shot at him probably during Christmas time, like you said, Finn. So
yeah, I just have a hard time believing that Jedi Knight Luke is going to be required.
Yeah, I did too, but it wouldn't shock me. I mean, there's nothing.
It wouldn't shock me either. It makes sense from kind of the perspective of building up to a Luke, but yeah, it's difficult for me to think that that's what they're going to do. So yeah, we'll see.
All right.
Next question is, let's see. Oh yeah. Was there that one? Then Elliot Ward's full question. Given how hard it is to farm relics, should Rey owners go for Luke and Kylo owners go for Palpatine?
I mean, it does progress into that with some of the characters, like, that are being relics for, like, if you did Rey, you got JTR, which is one of the requirements for Relic 7. So going into Luke would be helpful. You don't necessarily have to do that, but it will help you with some of the alleviation. Especially like if you did Luke 2. I mean, some of the characters and stuff will have relics and stuff because you had to do it for the events and stuff. So if you did Rey, it would make sense to go right into Luke. Because you just be easier to get another Galactic Legend with less headache and gear.
Mm-hmm. Next question, Nathan H. Question for Ranger. What are your favorite counters for Galactic Legend Rey that do not require Galactic Legends or Jedi Knight Luke?
Vader, Thrawn, Watts. That's a nice one. Throw them on. You can even put them on. You can do Darth Revan, Thrawn with Watts. But the Vader one's pretty good. Depending on which with a run in with Rey, but yeah, I mean, you put the stuff on Vader and send him out, and Thrawn fractures Rey, and then you just kind of slowly destroy the team. So there are teams, and there are videos out there showing that stuff. So yeah.
Okay. Next one, Obito Uchiha. Question: how tall are you guys?
We're both 5'9".
Yeah, I'm between 5'9", 5'10".
Same here.
We're
the same. Yeah, we're the same height. So. We're not super tall, but
not short.
Yeah, we're not short.
Middle.
We're in the middle.
Let's see. Nightmare question: best way to spend crystals for MK6 furnaces currently, or is it spending on fleet energy or refreshing shard shop?
I always use shard shop. It's a combination of both. It's shard shop, and it's also I always pick one. Like furnaces are one of those ones, especially when you're doing Kylo, that are just. Oh my god, so many furnaces. But I always use my fleet energy for that, to get the furnaces. The drop rate sucks, so you're going to have to supplement it with like the shard shop and stuff like that because, sweet Jesus.
Obito's in chat like, yikes, under 6 foot. Yes, we are shorties. We are shorties.
We're not short. I mean, 5'9", almost 5'10". It's not short.
Sorry. Let me make my graphic a little bit more appropriate for you, then, Obito, just so you can see my. Okay, there we go. Now I'm 5'9". There we go. Hee Hi.
Finn.
There we go. I'm 5'9".
It's a mini Finn.
There we go.
You all right there, mini Finn? You want a hot pocket?
Mm-hmm. I'm only 5'9", so I'm small. Hi.
Obito, that's a bunch of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Girls are looking for 6 and up. Get out of here.
You're looking for 6 and up, but in different spots. Okay,
sure.
Next question.
I like what you did there, Finn. Very nice.
Next question. Nightmare. Will either of these Galactic Legends get CG Finn to relic tunes and go after them? No. Nope. Not in the least. And John Moran question: will the Space Horses be a natural counter to the Space Ewok glider with frozen core pilots? Ewok gliders in space.
Could be a hard counter.
There you go. Okay.
Science.
Mm-hmm.
Ewok gliders in space. The dumbest thing we've ever come up with.
All right. I love Ewok gliders. Makes me happy. All right. Let me do one refresh, but I think that was it for the questions. No, we had one other question from
Sure.
Han Cholo. Question: if Piet becomes farmable in 6 weeks, how much time will they give us to farm him before Palpatine Galactic Legend release? I'm guessing 2
not
weeks.
long. Yeah, it's gonna be
2
quick.
weeks. It puts it right in the. We looked at the timeline. It puts it right around the middle to the end of October, which I think makes sense because they're not going to want these closer to the beginning. They want it closer, a little bit more to the middle and to the end of a quarter. It doesn't do that much to have it right at the beginning. So yeah, closer to the middle or the end is where I would say.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right, so I think that's all the questions. So we can start wrapping it up. Man, oh man. Sorry, stream elements and stuff wasn't working tonight, guys, but we'll work on getting that fixed. We've got the new gaming laptop. We're going to be working on that on Sunday to get everything up and running with that. So I've been slowly downloading stuff on it just to get it ready, but we have to do all this transferring and all this other shit. It's, oh boy. It's going to be kind of quite of a chore, so... now Finn might be hanging out in Discord afterwards. I'm not. I'm going to go lay down because I'm still a little groggy and out of it from my ordeal the last couple days. But Finn, are you going into Discord afterwards or anything?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll head into that.
So if you want to go hang out with Finn, you're more than welcome to, and he'll hang out with you guys.
We did get a question really quick, Ranger.
Sure,
I know you
go.
just worked on it. I don't want to. It's an interesting question because I know you just got it. Grigwuski. Welcome, Gringwuski.
Oh.
Make sure you put. So I saw the question, so I'm gonna ask it, but make sure you do put question in front of your question so our bot picks it up next time. But that's why it didn't come through. But his question is, what is your mod preference for a 5-star Chupio?
I've got crit damage on mine with lots of protection.
He attacks out of turn. That's pretty much what you probably should do.
Yeah. So
he has a lot of crit chance. And anyways, so you're just kind of boosting it. You're giving almost,
you want that big hit to be big, man. As big as you can make it.
At 5-star. Yep.
Yeah.
Then later on, once you get to relics, you can change that over to offense set with crit damage primary. That gets you more base damage, but it depends on what team.
What you have available, because it's really
offense 1, crit damage set 2 with crit damage primary on either set is the average best way to maximize your damage. But it depends on your team makeup and everything, like Ranger was saying. So depending on what team you use it for and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, where you are right now, you can go with crit damage. You can go with offense. It's kind of the same thing, pretty much. But your offense is probably a little bit lower, so crit damage might help a little.
All right. So with that, we're going to call this one done, and we'll bring up the final thing. But before we do that, we got to say thank you to our gold Patreons and VIPs. These people, we appreciate all the support you guys give us, and that's why we do what we do. And we encourage you to join our Discord. And you can always hit us up for anything that you need. But we just want to say thank you to these folks because they really go out of their way to just go above and beyond what everyone else does to support us. And just wonderful people, and we love them. We love just what they do, and they do it unselfishly. They're just the kindest, nicest people, and they keep us motivated. So you get special highlight for our gold VIPs. Thank you guys for what you do. And with that, we'll wrap it up. So if I can find the damn thing. There it is. So you can see when we live stream, of course you're here, the Wednesday live stream. Monday through Friday we have the lunch hour, usually on YouTube, but I've been doing it on Twitch. Primarily this week we'll do GAC tomorrow, and then Finn will do his GAC tomorrow after I do the lunch stream. Saturday mornings we have the Jedi Academy, the longest running Q&A show that I know of, where we basically bring the best and brightest of content creators and YouTubers and stuff like that together. So we have the Jedi Academy this Saturday. We have tons of other streams that we do during the week that we're always streaming either on Twitch or YouTube. You guys can check it out. So check out both. Subscribe to both. That way you know about it. If you'd like to become a Patreon, you can. You can see all the different links and stuff. And they're down in the description below. Encourage you to hit the thumbs up before you leave. It really is much appreciated. Also encourage you to join our Discord. Great group of community of folks there that play different games and just like having fun. And we encourage you guys to do that. Be social. Come meet some new people. There's an amazing group of people out there. And so please come by if you'd like. So if you want to come hang out with Finn at the after party, you can. And with that, we're going to have this one done. So we'll see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern, where I will do my GAC tomorrow during the lunch stream. And then you can check Finn out at roughly about 2 o'clock p.m. tomorrow for his GAC. And then we'll see what happens from there. So with that, I think we can call this one done. Last thing I'll say is wash your hands, wash your face, wear your mask, do your social distancing, guys. Coronavirus is something you do not want to fuck around with out there. It's still a big deal, and it's still killing people, and we'd like to keep you guys safe, so please do the right thing, not just for yourself, but for those around you. We'll keep you entertained. I know times are tough out there, but that's why you listen to us, because we keep you entertained, so you can get your mind off things for a little bit, and we'll keep you smiling and happy and laughing as we all get through this tough time together. So on behalf of myself, Dr. Finn Medicine Woman, the entire crew, and everybody, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Have a great rest of your night, and we will holler at you later. Peace.